My name is Bonaccorso, and I have the task today to moderate this high-level panel. I'm very honored of this. And so just a brief introduction of myself. I am the director of Spring, which is the Italian Circular Bioeconomy cluster. We represent bioeconomy stakeholders coming from academia to small, medium enterprises and big corporations. We have also two American associates, one based in California, Key Verdi, and the other one, Lancetec, that I mentioned before. And we have also farmer association, industry association, because as you know, probably the bioeconomy is a meta sector, and we have companies in green chemistry, in pulp and paper, in agro-food. But I use also to be a journalist, and I am also a blogger. I launched this blog, bioeconomista.com. It's written in English, so everybody can read. It's the first blog on bioeconomy because I launched it in 2012, just to talk about bioeconomy when the bioeconomy was not so popular. Now we are lucky because the bioeconomy is popular, and this is also thanks to people like our panelist here. We have Coco Lemery from the US. Coco is professor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. And also, she founded the studio Kloak, located in Chicago. And she developed this bio-based material made from onion skins. Then we have from Japan, Nakagawa Tagashi, who is in charge of planning in the development department related to molding technology at Panasonic Holdings Corporation. And then, last but not least, Luca Ficarelli, who is the CEO and co-founder of SMUSH Materials, an Italian startup focused on bio-based material for the industrial packaging. So we have a very global panel. And I know that the bioeconomy is a global revolution, a bio-revolution, the new industrial revolution led by biological resources. I think it's very disruptive, and it's also very cool. Let me thank Chiara Rodriguez and Materially for organizing this interesting workshop. I hope it will be interesting. Okay. I will do my best, but we are lucky because we have really three very dynamic and innovative panelists here. So I would start from Coco. So ladies first. And my question is a general question for everybody here. Can you tell us what kind of biomaterial you are developing for what kind of application, and also so what are the main business of this Studio Kloak you launched, you founded? You can use this. If you have a presentation.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm the founder of Studio Kloak, and like Mario mentioned, I'm also a professor of industrial design at the University of Illinois. And Studio Kloak largely is built off of the fact that I used to work in the US for a very large furniture company, and I was the head of design, specifically lighting design there at Williams-Sonoma and Pottery Barn. And one of the things that I realized is how unsustainable the industry is. And so part of me starting Studio Kloak was this idea of, can I create products that can't be ripped off, they can't be mass manufactured, and the ethos of sustainability doesn't mean sustainability in like a greenwashing term. I mean sustainability as I start from waste. I start by using trash, and can I transform those items? And so I'm not really sure what you're looking at, but I started this onion skin biomaterial, which, is this just automatically playing? Okay. Which has been a really fun project because I'm kind of looking at, is there the opportunity to replace certain marbles and even certain types of glass in lighting design? Can I kind of embrace translucency in a new way? And the onion skin operates almost as a veneer, like a translucent veneer. It also uses like calcium carbonate as like a bonding agent. So I use like eggshells or chalk in that way. And so then with that, there's a little bit of heat resistance. And so this work has been going on for a long time now with a lot of samples and all of that. And so that's kind of been the nexus of everything that I've been doing. Again, the goal here of making something that is unmanufacturable and sustainable from the perspective, am I starting with waste? That's always what I'm after, is am I starting with trash as my basis of making? And so many of you probably saw the lamps upstairs. Obviously, these are like the first prototypes, maybe, and by the first, I mean probably like 5, 6, and 7. I think that there's a lot more opportunity with this material, so it's very exciting in terms of just getting started with the material. Did I answer all your questions? Okay, okay, great. Yeah.
So, and the same question for you, Takashi. What kind of biomaterial you are developing and for what kind of application?
I'm Nakagawa and from Panasonic in Japan. I am a planning manager in the in-mode and die and technology section. We developed biomass material in Panasonic. We aim to reduce the petroleum resin and reduce carbon dioxide. Our Panasonic by vision green impact to for environment in us. Okay. Okay. We developed a cellulose fiber named kinari. This is a sustainable material for the purpose of a circular economy. Cellulose fiber is mainly made from naturally wood, like a photo, and it is also possible to use wood that we discarded with like waste wood. Okay, and what is kinari? Kinari is an alternative material that turns into petroleum-based plastics and developed to realize a circular economy. Kinari is very sustainable material that all the most properties as conventional petroleum-based resins, but it's basically made of plant fibers. By offering kinari, we aim to create a completely closed resource recycling society. To achieve this, we are developing a package that includes not only the production of the material, but also the entire system of disposable, sorting, and recycling. Okay. One of causes of environmental pollution raised by petroleum and derived plastic is the imbalance between the rapidly increasing the plastic and the recycling rate. Plastic consumption is increasing in every year with 3 million tons of plastic consumed annually. However, only 14% of plastic is recycled. The remaining 86% is not recycled, but is landfill, incinerated, and discharged. Therefore, carbon dioxide emissions, marine pollution, and soil pollution from plastic disposable becomes problems.
So, and the main application of your biomaterial is the electronics. What is the main application?
For electronics and daily necessary use and for automotive parts.
Okay.
And the next there are bioplastics that replace petroleum-derived plastics, but the main raw material for bioplastic is grains. They are so-called biotics and from wood, which is one of the reasons and global food prices and soaring. This is a problem using bioethanol plant derived on the base material resins. So we want to need the not used bioethanol plant derived material.
But I don't know in Japan, but so as Coco mentioned,
Yeah.
to produce bioplastic in Europe, we are using wastes, not food, not to be, in order not to be in conflict with food demand.
Yeah.
It's the same in Japan. You are using food in Japan, so because in Europe, you can use food as raw materials. We use bioproducts, residues, and wastes.
Yeah.
It's the same. What kind of raw material are you using to develop your biomaterial?
I think that the biomaterial is from the grain and corn.
Okay.
So the grain is problem.
No, please,
Yeah,
please.
Yes. So the third problem is we compared it with alternative resins and the petroleum-based resins. There's not no resin in both environmentally and friendly and functional. Biomass material it is disadvantage is mechanical properties and reliability. So we developed, improved this mechanical and reliability property include, and we original process and original material for developed cellulose fiber material in Kinari.
Okay, thank you so much. So
Yeah.
we can now move on to Luca, then we will come back to deepen some aspects of your biomaterial. So Luca, what kind of biomaterial are you developing?
So I like to, it's okay to be after them because we kind of like want to do both things. So you want to reuse the waste and byproducts, also him, and also decrease the volume of plastic production. So what we do is to provide an alternative to plastic materials, especially foams for the packaging industry. As we know, there's many plastic foams that's been using for especially like electronics, home appliance, and also in the designing phase. There's a lot of foams, and the direction that we're taking is to go to more sustainable solutions. So we wanted to do this, but by also tackling one other problem and issues in the, let's say, our economy, but it's anywhere, which is about agri-products. So all the producers from the agri-industries, they need to dispose some of their byproducts. I'm not talking about waste because, as Mario was mentioning, waste is, there's a lot of certifications and regulations, so we tackled the byproducts problem. And so all these the industry is producing, for example, one material that we use is rice, so rice husks. So all the industry, they, for example, producing rice, they do have byproducts. So we collect the byproducts from them. And through fermentation technologies, we use mycelium, which is the root of mushrooms, which acts as a natural glue, so sticks all the byproducts together. And what we have at the final, let's say, at the end of the process is a material which is very performant in terms of mechanical performances. It's fireproof. It's also, it can also, let's say, behave pretty well with the thermal insulations and some impermeability properties. But the most of all is the compostability of the material. So if we think of, for example, televisions, other electronics, or other products, when it gets to our place in our house, what we like really do is we take our packaging, we break it, we trash in the humid, in the compost, and it's gonna disappear in 45 to 50 days. So the idea that we wanted to do was, okay, let's see if we can find some alternatives to foams. Of course, they must be mechanically performant, but also cost competitive. Otherwise, in the packaging, you don't get into. But also, let's see if we can resolve another issue on the, let's say, on the circular economy way. So can we reuse some byproducts? Can we make new materials that just disappear at the end of their life instead of taking hundreds of years to decompose? So this is pretty much what we do. And yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have here three different organizations, so three different representations of the bioeconomy. So a small medium enterprise, a startup looking for a market still.
Yes.
A big corporation that is investing in new biomaterials in order to be sustainable, but also competitive and innovative, I suppose. And then a biomaterial related to design and so lighting industry. We are in the frame of the Design Week of Milano. And so my second question to all of you is, do you think there is a demand of new biomaterials coming from consumers? And what are the main barriers you are facing in your business? I mean, from a regulatory perspective, but also something related to logistics, the availability of biomass, because as you said, we cannot use food, we have to use wastes, bioproducts, and also we have to invest in research and development because in Italy we have 8,000 kilometers of coast. This means that we could use the marine biomass to develop our bioproducts. What is your perspective in this regard? Okay, you can start. Luca.
Same. Well, it's let's say that in our experience, to build a sustainable business, it's not about just sustainability, but it's about any kind of sustainability on a social, economical, and other levels. So whenever we enter into, okay, I want to do this particular business, so to move forward with circular economy, it's not just about the idea, but it's also about how do I put it down on earth. So what do I have to do? The material can be great, the product, it's amazing if you do R&D, but then of course, whenever you want to set up a business, you need to overcome all the limitations that you have. For example, in our case, if we want to do industrial packaging, as we really are doing, we need a large availability of raw material, so for us, of byproducts. So for example, one challenge was about, okay, so if I have to do one material, what kind of byproduct should I use? Should I focus on many byproducts or should I take just one? Maybe it was the same for you with onion skin. You've seen many, but then you say, okay, this is the one that's perfect. So you start to build a business on it. I feel like it's really hard to scale sustainable technologies because it's there's a lot of innovation, there's a lot of new processes that come into. Most of the time, it's not just about doing a retrofit on what's already existing. Sometimes it's totally new disruptive technology, so you need to be really focused on what you want to do, how much volumes you need to do, what's the timing that's going to take, and also the money. In terms of limitation, of course, regulations are a topic. Because if we would have lots of regulations promoting this kind of innovation, it would be really easier also to get access into market fundings, etc. So I feel like there's still a lot to be done in terms of moving forward with sustainability, but the ideas are great. I mean, you have examples also from companies, big companies working on new development. So I feel like consumers, of course, if you look at, I don't know, final, in our case, whoever gets the packaging, young people and young generations, they all want more sustainable materials. So it's not just about like the customer demand, it's a lot of, you know, I want the sustainable product, and sustainability also sells more for a company. But then of course you need to follow the metrics and the economics and everything to really provide them with this working solution. So I feel like there's still much to do, but definitely the attention that's being brought on the sustainability and circular economy is very, very promising.
Okay, thank you, Luca. So, Nakagawa, what is your view about this? And what is also the situation in Japan?
In Japan, I developed the biomass material to get to reduce the petroleum resins. So the customer needs always use the standard petroleum resins. They say that there is a mechanical property and reliability. And so, a biomass material not used in normal products.
Okay.
Okay. So we want to improve this mechanical property and reliability and cost, and it is important things, I think.
So, but people in Japan are asking to have more biomaterials in the market, or do you think it's not an issue there? There is not awareness about the difference between petroleum-based materials and bio-based materials.
Yes. And Japanese company uses the biomass, not biomass material. You keep to the cost and mechanical property, so they use keep to petroleum resins materials.
Hi. Okay, so for me, I approach this as an educator first and a researcher. So a lot of me developing this onion skin biomaterial was obviously research heavy, but also I recorded it as a workshop and have made it publicly available so that anyone who's interested in making it can get access to it. And I think that that's the important thing for me. As an educator, particularly in America, you have a lot of people who are really interested, a lot of people who want to make, a lot of people who want to create, but don't necessarily have the resources to be able to do that. So it was this idea of what if you could cook this in your kitchen? What if you could make your own design work? What if you had agency to be able to repair or make something for yourself? To me, that's the future of what circularity is this idea of we all have ownership. We all are designers, we all are talented, and kind of getting us more making and more hands-on in that process. So that's what a large part of what I've been doing and what I've been directed to do, I feel like, has been down that path.
So, you know, there is a program in the US that I believe we must replicate in Europe. This is BioPrefer. I don't know if you know it. It's a program launched by the USDA with the labels and standards. This is a green public procurement. And this was a boost to the bioeconomy there, despite of Trump now, because people, in this case, not people, but authorities know what is a bioproduct and what percentage of biomass is in the product, 90%, 99, 100. This is very relevant because we need to know what is really a biomaterial. In many cases, we have bioproducts that are not just that are not really bio-based. There is another name that we are using in Europe, bioattribute. I don't know if this is also in the US, probably yes. And it is important to people to recognize what is a bio-based product. Do you think, if you know the BioPrefer, it could be replicated in other countries, or this is something just very focused on the kind of business you have in the US, where the bioeconomy has a strong support by farmers that are using biomass also to produce bioethanol, bioenergies? What is your idea?
I think absolutely, but I think what's hard is that country by country, it's based on regulation and what the constraints that each person is working between. So it's a hard question to answer, but I definitely think that you could scale this in a larger way and make it more accessible for people in a larger way. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And so, Luca, from an Italian perspective, also as a startup, we are very good in Italy, also in Europe, at research and development. Then we are not so good at industrialization. What are your experience as a startupper? Where we can improve in order to industrialize more? We have now this new strategy on bioeconomy launched by the European Commission, but probably we have I don't know in Japan, Nakagawa, but in Europe we have so many strategies. We need an action plan to deliver. And what is your view as a startup?
I might be way too on one side, but so as you were saying, we do have great industrialization, so we do have the ability of building things and build bigger things, even bigger. But then, of course, for a startup, it's really what struggled me because we went also to Silicon Valley, for example. So we saw like a different idea of, I have an idea, I want to make it good, and they trust you with the money. So it's all about, getting first money to get to one point where you see the problems, you see the issues of industrialization, and you can overcome them. Here we tend to be a little bit slow in this specific phase. It's more about there's a lot of de-risking that needs to be done first. When I'm talking about what we do, in the future, it's going to be a plant, like a big facility, and you don't want to go from 0 to 100. You need to take steps in between, but that's where we need more support, I would say, here in Italy. So in a phase where we can build this transition, but then and also like have really good regulations and policies promoting this change, because otherwise it's all about try to solve old problems with old technologies, with old ideas, or always following the same circle while we are creating a total new business. So new policies and regulations need to overcome in this way. I feel like this is my point of
Thank
view.
you, Luca. And so Nakagawa, Panasonic is a big corporation. Are you looking for startups? Are you investing in startups in Japan or abroad? What is your idea and your perspective regarding the new startups and also the young people that are creating startups in order to grow in the bioeconomy?
It is a good question. We supply the biomass material to improve the circular economy. We developed to reduce the cost and property, and also we supply the biomass material all over the world. We developed to make the biomass material by simple process operation. So we developed the simple biomass material production and with low energy and low water. So our kinari is made by a simple operation by the dry process, the process. This process not need the water, and we mix it with low energy. So the simple operation is to make a material with low cost operation. So we supply this material.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you are working also with the startups
Yes.
in Japan, so with young researchers.
Young generations, we teach this material and the junior high school and elementary school with this material. We cooperate with local government office, and to make we developed school tableware with this by this kinari and biomass material. So you children touch the biomass material in usage. Okay.
Okay, I understand.
Can I ask
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You talked about the government, right? You said government also is promoting, like
Yes.
is the government helping the developing of
Yes.
the solution?
We cooperate with the local government to this government to achieve the wood waste to make the new material. So we support this government to make the tableware with.
So Bitting create the whole supply chain.
Yes. Yes.
But one of the big player in Japan is Toyota. There are many biocomposites in the Toyota cars, bioplastics in general, in order to decarbonize. This is not just an issue of so innovation or so be more sustainable, but this is also the request to decarbonize for the automotive industry, and now Toyota is leading the way in the application of biomaterials, also in the US, Ford, in Europe, and this is my question. So you think your biomaterial, cocoa, could be used in other sectors, fashion, just to give you an example, or I don't know, for also the automotive industry that is looking for new biomaterials in order to decarbonize? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think the possibilities are endless. And so I think once you start this road of experimentation, I'm sure, as they know, that you can tweak that recipe to fit a variety of applications. And how you want to tweak that is largely up to you, but that's really easy and accessible to get there, especially once you're so familiar, you've done so many samples, you really start to understand, oh, with a few tweaks, this can really be changed in a different way.
And so for your bioproduct, you have a kind of agreement with some companies in the US in order to reach the market, the mass market, potentially?
For me, the goal is not, I'm so loud. For me, the goal is not about the mass market application. And if anything, it's the reverse for me, especially in the US market. So for me, the goal is really, how can I do this on a small scale way? How can I make it about knowledge sharing? How can I share what I'm doing and then see where it leads to? It's more experimental on my end, for sure.
Thank you so much. And Luca, so for your business, so you are trying to set up, and I hope you will reach and you become a big corporation very soon. But so what are your next steps now as a startup?
So for us, it's really important actually on this side to have connections and collaboration with companies and industries to validate the product, the solution, and also to validate the market, the demand, and everything that's going. So we keep developing on the business, let's say business phase. We keep going and looking for opportunities to collaborate with companies. Also, just saying, if Panasonic wants to, we're more than willing to develop something in a way that, of course, what we achieve first is to provide a proof of concept. It's been tested, so a final packaging solutions that the company can test and see, okay, I like the material, it works, I like the pricing, where they go next, and then you switch to batch production. So you move to 20,000 units to 100,000 units. So there's on one side, we always try to do this because it's important to build the traction and say, okay, this material is really getting attention, and also the solution and the application. And of course, there's a whole next challenge on the technology. So there's, as I was saying, we're moving into phases. So we do have a prototyping facility right now where we lead these POCs. And then, of course, we're moving to a pilot production where the POCs can be converted into batch productions. And then there's going to come up the commercial plant in the next phase. So it's always a step. So we move simultaneously in the business dev and also technology development.
Okay, thank you. So Nakagawa, you're looking for an Italian startup? Italian. I think you are here for the design week, right? But you are also in your business. You are open to collaborate with Italian companies to develop something new in the bio-based materials sector.
I expected the Italian startup company. I know we want to.
You know SMUSH materials now.
Yes, they do know that is a high concentrated cellulose fiber, and cellulose fiber is a very strengthened mechanical property. So to achieve the electronic home appliances and automotive, and to as well as the standard resins. So we expected then to use this biomass material to their product. So it looks kinari looks is a very beautiful the wood faces and touch surface. So it is a very unique material. So we want to then to use this kinari material.
Okay, thank you so much. And so I would take advantage of your presence here as a professor, because we are talking about the use of biomaterials in the design industry, but also, as we have just seen, there are many applications. But there is also, so from the student point of view, there is there are more students now that want to study this sort of bioeconomy or methods related to the bioeconomy in your experience and at your university. I think in the past, biotechnology was not a department at the university. Now we have many departments of biotechnology. Also in companies, we have more and more departments of biotechnology. What is your point of view in this regard? So there are more students now that are...
Yeah, absolutely. So at the University of Illinois, we're launching a sustainable design major. And that's the first time that we've launched anything like that. And that'll be going into effect next year. But you can't talk about this, especially as an American, without talking about the fact that sustainability in America has gotten a lot less funding recently, and a lot more funding has gone toward things like AI. And so the students have kind of followed suit, where a lot of my students tend to be more interested in the electronic, the robotic side of things, and you see interest feigning in the sort of circularity conversation. What you do see it a lot of is definitely here in Europe. Whenever I get like a resume or a portfolio sent to me by a European student, it's a completely different portfolio, it's a completely different dynamic, it's a completely different interest, which to me gets me really excited on what that future is going to look like. So it's something that you're starting to see in the US, but in the last few years, we've definitely seen a shift in funding, and there's a shift in understanding. And so I think that it becomes more important to give it voice from my perspective, even now, you know?
But this is because of the Trump administration?
It is, yeah, where you see and private equity, what people are investing in are a lot less. I'm so glad that you're having meetings in Silicon Valley, and hopefully they're giving you money, but really where money is going to right now is the development of AI and all of that infrastructure, as opposed to the development of a greener economy or better solutions or things like that. So that is a trend that's happening in the US, and I'm hoping to see that change very soon.
Sure. It's a pity because also in Europe now we have a lot of dossiers on defense,
Right.
because of all the wars all around the world. When you talk with policymakers in Brussels, now the new dossiers are focused on defense. We have also biomaterials in defense, and in the US we have a strategy on the bioeconomy in the defense industry. But this is a pity from our perspective, because we, as the Pope said just last, so I think just a few days ago, so we are investing a lot in weapons, and we are not investing in healthcare and in education. But this is a big debate, okay. And so I don't know if there are questions for the audience. We are open to receive also your questions. Chiara?
More than a question, it was just an observation or like a topic for each of you. The relationship between what you do and design. So from your point of view, you pointed at that at the beginning of your conversation. Definitely there is a lot of, sorry, we're missing one glass. Thank you for sacrificing. She has a, no, you don't, okay, because she has a recyclable, but she has a recyclable container for water there. So it sounded like the aesthetic part of it, so something that has to do with the design, or that aspect of design is a starting point for you in your research as well, right? You mentioned alternative to the marble effect, or I assume that the interaction of the translucency of onion skin when applied, if applied to lighting fixtures, was a thing. So I captured that from you. Knowing SMUSH what they do, definitely it sounds like the approach to design must be a functional one. You're looking at making things work for the already existing sizes, formats, needs, and so on. And for what I've seen about kinari, it seems to me that design is a medium to make the material known and to make the material acceptable or desirable from a market point of view. I see in what you do very established shapes made interesting because of the material. So this I'm just saying as observation from my point of view of having looked into your material for quite some weeks now. And but if you, I don't know, if you want to say something, since we are in the context of the Design Week, and what it means for somebody who thinks about a material, makes a new material, industrializes a new material, what is relevant about design. Any comment or just not?
I'll do it. No, that's actually a good one, because for us, actually for myself, just being particular on myself, it's hard to see and to notice the design if you are not into the design. So I am an engineer as a background, so I look more at functional things. And also I was talking to Mario, I was like, we don't do design with this material, we do the packaging, but that's the point. Because if we do not look at design as a final product, so everything that looks good, nice, and functional, etc., but more as a process to obtain things, then that's when definitely, as you said, design comes into. So what do I need to build? How does it need to be? What are the functions that it needs to meet? And what are anything that it's inside the design? So it's not the final shape and, you know, the, how can I say it? The beauty effect that it gives, but like really, if you have a good design, it's less material that does and work best compared to others. So that is actually one design phase that opens up when you talk about sustainable design.
What is design for you in relationship to the material that you have developed or you are working with?
So I'm definitely a professor of design, not a professor of engineering. And so I think from a design-driven perspective. And so everything that I'm doing is this idea of, and tomorrow I'm talking about like the function of beauty. And I think that to me, it extends the life of things, right? So it's this idea of it gives it a second life, it extends the life of trash, it recontextualizes what it means in our minds. And so there's a function to me of beautiful design tethered with a sustainable material of giving it that second life, that rebirth that I get really excited about. But again, definitely not on the engineering side, for sure.
And for design, and I think it is difficult to change the production of conventional petroleum resin plastics products. So we want to not change this injection molding processes. This is for good for the mass production in plastic parts. So we we developed the biomass material to use this conventional injection molding processes. It is good for to make the product, the parts. So we use these the conventional injection molding. So we our kinari to adapt this conventional injection molding, and we want to achieve the same cost, same production process. So the designer used this product as a conventional plastic process.
So then the eco-design is crucial for the bioeconomy, so the concept of eco-design. Also, I believe that if the circular bioeconomy is based on three pillars, reuse, reduce, and recycle, the reduce point is relevant because probably we also use too many stuff and we buy a lot of clothes, a lot of things that we don't need. And this is the main point also in the frame of the bioeconomy. So other questions for the audience?
Can I ask you, do you plan to try applying this material to electronics, like in prototypes, the one that Panasonic already has?
Yes, yes, I already in kinari in mass production in Japan. So in Europe, we supply the prototype and then a sample resins. We can supply it then. Yeah. What device?
Like computer cases, that kind of thing.
Oh.
So because now you are presenting simple products, can it be a material for? There are already for some.
We applied the first type of cordless stick vacuum cleaner and the parts, okay? And you tumbler and the daily necessities and the school table is for the tables. And we improved this property to achieve the in automotive interior parts. No problem to adapt these products. Yes, and the same injection molding, and yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, with tutoring and other normal plastic parts. Yeah.
So, other question for the audience? If not, I think I would like to thank all the panelists and Chiara for organizing this workshop today here in Milano. I think really the bioeconomy is a way to build bridges, not to build walls, as many people want to do in this era. And I think it was relevant to have panelists from Japan, from the US, from Italy. This shows us that the bioeconomy is really creating building bridges, but also that the bioeconomy is a world revolution led by the biological resources in different application fields, design for sure, but also in the fashion. We are in Milano, one of the fashion capital, probably the most relevant, let me say, is one that was born in Milano. But I think fashion also, the King of England, Charles III, launched also the Circular Bioeconomy Alliance, bringing together all the fashion stylists from Italy, Brunello Cucinelli, Armani, and many, because also the fashion industry is investing in new biomaterials, and you are using onion skin. There is a company in Italy that are using apple skin to develop, to produce shoes that are very cool. Is SMUSH, the name of the company. No, it's SMUSH, but this is SMUSH, something. And but also we have SMUSH materials and many startups, and I'm sure Panasonic will invest a lot of money in Italian startups, right? Okay. So thank you so much.